Welcome to ClickMyProject.com. Let we discuss about the process image enhancement and feature extraction based on low resolution satellite data. Let us see the abstract of the process image enhancement and feature extraction based on low resolution satellite data. Enhancement of satellite images reveals the portions in the images that were missed due to noises or other disturbances. The identification of all regions in the images were helpful in the textural analysis of the satellite images. The satellite images will be also in multiple bands, which makes the processing of the satellite images were more complicated. The proposed approaches combines the multiple bands and the enhancement process applied for the resulting band. The enhancement process is based on the histogram stretching of the input image. The enhanced image were then used for the classification process. The performance of the process is then measured in terms of area and error rate of the classification process. The input for the process is the hyperspectral images consisting of several bands. The several bands were combined to form a single image based on the classification of the mean value of the pixels in the particular location of all the bands. The resulting image is then enhanced based on the histogram stretching process. The resulting enhanced image is then used for the feature extraction process based on the feature extraction using Pantech and the morphological building index. The extracted features depicts the overall regions that contains the interested portions in the images. The performances of the process were measured in terms of the error rate and the AUC of the process. Let us see the flow of the process. The input hyperspectral images were taken. The hyperspectral images consist of several bands in them. So these bands were combined into a single image. So for the combination of the several bands, some seven scenarios were proposed for this band fusion process. After that, the histogram stretching is applied to the images. The histogram stretching refers to the basic enhancement of the input images. From that, we downsample the input image. This downsampling reduces the overall dimensions of the input hyperspectral images. So from the downsampled image, based on the SVM classification process, the reference image is generated. Comparing the generated reference images and the downsampled images, new reference images were generated for the enhancement process. So for the enhancement of the images, some 8 scenarios were proposed, and from them the features were extracted based on the Pantex and the morphological building index process. The Pantex and the morphological building index process features were used for the analysis of the locations of the regions in the input hyperspectral images. So for the Pantex and the morphological building index, the performances were measured based on the error rate of the process. This error rate indicates the overall differences between the resulting image and the ground truth already we have for the Pantex and the morphological building index values. The enhancement processes improves the overall contrast and the histogram values in the input hyperspectral images, producing an efficient, clear images that depicts all the regions in the input images. Let us see the running procedure of the process. If you want to run the code, select the file main.gui which is present in the source code folder. Right click it and click on run file. You will get the process executed. First select any one of the images which is present in the folder. Otherwise you can use any one of the images. So first the input images is selected. The process runs. The first procedure is the combination of the input image bands producing as image with single band. So that process is going on. This is the input image that we have selected. This image contains several bands and these bands were combined in the band fusion process. For band fusion we have considered some 7 scenarios. The images for these 7 scenarios were as follows. These are all the images that we have obtained after the band selection process using the 7 scenarios that is proposed in our base paper. So these images consist of the single band only. These images were further used for the enhancement and the classification process. So the next step is the histogram stretching process. After the histogram stretching image, the images were enhanced and the resulting image is obtained here. And this is the downsampled image obtained by our process. So the input images is downsampled to reduce the size of the images into half, resulting in this downsampled images that we have obtained. This images is further used for the classification and the feature extraction process. This is the references images that we have using for the further feature extraction process. These reference images were obtained by the classification process using support vector machine. The downsampled images is from the downsampled images. The images were classified identifying the reference image. After the reference image, the features were extracted from the image. This is the new references images obtained after the support vector machine classification. After that, the features were extracted from the images based on the pantex and the morphological building index features. For the enhancement process, these 8 scenarios were considered, and based on that, the enhancement is obtained. So thus we have combined the bands of the hyperspectral images, and from that we have used classification in order to generate the reference images. Finally, the features were extracted from the hyperspectral images based on the pantex and the morphological building index process. Thank you.